Today on ESPN Supercard, Al Perez against the Patriot for the North American Championship. Who will wear the belt once and for all? Hello, everyone. I'm Craig Johnson, and on today's program, we will hear from both the former champion now, the Patriot, and the man who wants to be the champion, Al Perez. Plus, we will see in unprecedented coverage without commercial interruption the match for the North American title between Al Perez and the Patriot. Plus, we have some action standing by should that action not reach the full television time limit. So get ready. When we return, we'll go back and take a look at that great match for the North American Championship. Al Perez against the Patriot. When we return, Scott Hudson joins me for all the action on ESPN Supercard. Stay tuned. The man who held the North American title, now you've given it back. It's one-on-one, you against Al Perez today.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's what this tournament was for to start with, was to find the undisputed North American heavyweight champion. Well, we didn't do that because it was disputed. The belt was tarnished somewhat because of the outcome of that match. But we're going to get together. We're going to do it all over again. Al Perez, you got what you want. I've got what I want. I gave the belt back. I'm not going to have any part of anything like that. We're going to find out once and for all, man on man, just who is the best and who's going to walk out the undisputed North American heavyweight champ.
How do you think this match is going to go? Perez's knee is healed completely since the tournament. You're going full strength one-on-one.
Well, it's going to be two big heavyweights going at each other, man. It's going to be a knockdown. We're going to get back up and we're going to knock each other back down, and we're going to go and we're going to go and we're going to go and we're going to take it all the way to the limit, and we'll finally decide once and for all who the champ's going to be and who's going to represent the great people of all over this country, the Global Wrestling Federation.
He's a courageous man. He is the Patriot, and when you talk about courage, giving back a belt takes a lot of courage. Let's go back and relive that moment from last week's Major League Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the man who currently holds the TV title in the Global Wrestling Federation and currently holds the North American title. Now, we have seen how that match ended, and yes, there was a lot of controversy, and I think there was no doubt that Al Perez's foot was on the rope, but you are about to make one of the most unusual statements that I think I've ever heard in the whole time I've ever been in wrestling. This is the Patriot.
Well, thank you, Joe, and you call it unusual. Call it what you may, but I've got a conscience, and I know all these great people out here. I appreciate their fan support, and I appreciate them sticking behind me. All these great Americans and all these great Patriots, and we got a way of doing things, and it's the right way. And this thing ended in a lot of controversy, and it's a great privilege to have this belt around my waist, but under those circumstances, there's no way I can do it. I've met with Max Andrews. I've met with the powers to be at the Global Wrestling Federation, and as much as I hate to, in all good conscience, I've got to give this thing up because there's no way I'm going to carry a tarnished belt around my waist. I don't want there to be any doubt in anyone's mind who the North American heavyweight champion really is. And Al Perez, next week, man, for all of North America, for all of the entire world to see, my friend, we're going to get together and we're going to do it one more time. And we're going to decide without a shadow of a doubt in anyone's mind who the real champion is. So, Joe, you hold this. I don't want any part of it until there's no doubt in anyone's mind who the champion is. We'll get a clear-cut winner right here in the ring.
All right, next week we'll find out. It's the rematch for the title between the Patriot and Al Perez.
No tournaments to worry about. 1 hour, the time limit. Al Perez, you got your shot at the gold.
Well, you know something I said last week? The man is a great hero, American star, big time. Whoa! But that's where you make your mistake. Mr. Nice Guy, you don't just give up a title like that when you didn't deserve it anyway. Now you're going to see what the rematch is all about, because now I know exactly what you're made of, brother. And let me tell you, you can't hang with me. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to take your mask off. I'm going to show these people what you really look like. And to me, it's a bunch of trash.
Al Perez, your knee injury. This match has a 60-minute time limit. Are you prepared to go 60 minutes?
Well, you know, in this business, you always have injuries. The knees go out, you just keep working, you keep as strong as you can. As strong as you can, then you fight. And the knees hold up, the arms hold up, the shoulders hold up. Everything stays together, because when that adrenaline starts flowing, there's no stopping me. The Latin heartthrob just don't quit.
For the Global Wrestling Federation North American Heavyweight Championship title, introducing at 240 pounds from Tampa, Florida,
the Latin heartthrob, coming in today, 6'2", 240 from Tampa, ready to take on the man who wears the red, white, and blue. No tournament to worry about. This is one-on-one, the one to settle it all. The man who held the belt and gave it back will be the man introduced next to the fans here at the Global Dome.
Introducing his opponent for this event, from sea to shining sea and anywhere that displays the red, white, and blue at 275 pounds, the Patriot!
The Patriot, 275, 6'4", from every town from sea to shining sea. You think he's ready for this one?
The Patriot wants to be the North American heavyweight champion. I don't know that he agonized much over giving that championship back, Craig, because the man has ethics. He did not want to keep a belt that he won under controversial circumstances, but he desperately wants to be the North American heavyweight champion.
Fans, we will not break during this match. We will bring it to you uninterrupted. I understand it's television time remaining. You will see a winner here today on Major League Wrestling. The tie-up sends both men back into the corner. Al Perez and the Patriot tied up. The reversal by the Patriot. James Beard, the presiding official here, calling for a clean break, but both men a little leery of the other.
And watch tempers here as Al Perez and the Patriot both realize what's at stake. This is for all the marbles, the North American Championship. The Patriot won it, gave it back. Al Perez still wants it for the very first time, and the Patriot's temper and Al Perez's temper going to be very short in this contest.
In that final match in the tournament, Al Perez lost his temper a few times. He only was close to being pinned 2 times as opposed to almost pinning the Patriot 8 times in that matchup. Now the 2 men tangled up in the corner. Perez looking like he wants to make sure the Patriot isn't able to get away any forearms. And pretty much a clean break there, but it looks like that Latin Spitfire temper of Perez may have gotten the Patriot a little bit upset here.
The Patriot won't put up with that type of activity very much at all, as evidenced by the slap of the hand of Al Perez, and we may see it again here. Oh, boy.
Perez may not have wanted to issue that particular challenge as he falls back and now needs a little bit of a rest period to make sure that the Patriots' momentum does not continue. The Patriot, the Global Wrestling Federation television champion. He's beaten the likes of Wild Bill Irwin, Buddy Landell, Cactus Jack, and Sweet Stan Lane. But you look at the credentials of the Latin heartthrob. Former world champion in the world-class organization, the man who beat both Kevin and Kerry Von Erich, one of the few men to beat both those individuals. Also, a Mid-South Tag Champion with Wendell Cooley. The team they beat, Ted DiBiase and Steve Dr. Death Williams. Both men excellent professionals in the business of professional wrestling. This will determine which man gets the upper hand. The North American Heavyweight Championship.
Impressive credentials for both men coming in. I would have to say, Craig, and you may disagree with me on this, I would have to say that Al Perez has just a little bit better credentials than the Patriot does. But then again, we don't know a lot about the Patriot, but we know he throws that big soup bone left hand.
And he does it again. One thing that you have to say about the Patriot, he never throws a punch unprovoked. You have to get the dander up on the Patriot in order to make him lose his temper somewhat, as he's doing here with a series of lefts. Perez tries to answer with a kick. Spins around and hello. Perez scurries out of the ring.
Al Perez now attempting to introduce the ring steps into the arena or into the match. I don't know the Patriot would have too much problem with that. Probably says, bring them on in. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I want the title. Throw the step, throw the concession stand, the ring guard, whatever. Throw it in. I'll take it all on.
In the tournament, Al Perez beat the likes of the Handsome Stranger, Hollywood John Tatum, Austin Idol, and in the playoff match beat Terry Gordy by disqualification. In the tournament, the Patriot, with wins over former USWA champ, the Soul Taker, half of WWF Tag Team Champions, Axis the Demolisher, then half of the NWA World Tag Team Champion, Sweet Stan Lane in the semifinals before getting the bye to meet Al Perez in the final.
In that area, the Patriot certainly has the advantage. I think his competition may have been just a little bit stiffer, except that Al Perez has a victory over Terry Gordy, and not many people can claim that.
Perez steps out to avoid the pressure being put on by the hammerlock. Looks as though the Patriot may have broken it for that split second, but goes back to work on it.
The Patriot knows his way around the ring. He knows that when that count goes, you have to break it, but you don't have to break it for 10 or 12 minutes. Break it just enough to satisfy the official, and that he certainly did.
Trying to roll Perez over, has his shoulder down for a count of one. Bonnie Blackstone, I understand, is standing by in the stands. Bonnie?
I'm in the stands with Gina. What do you think about this North American title match here, Al Perez against the Patriot?
Well, I hope that the Patriot will win this one.
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Thank you, Bonnie. In the stands with the fans, as continuing to keep the pressure on the left arm of Al Perez is the man who wears that red, white, and blue, the Patriot.
The North American Heavyweight Championship, Craig, a long history. Very capable wrestlers have held that title. Mr. Wrestling number 2, Bob Armstrong, a former North American champion. Dick Slater, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I think either the Patriot or Al Perez would be a quality champion. But I don't know that the Patriot may not have that little extra oomph, knowing that he won it once and he had to give it back. I take that back. He didn't have to give it back. He wanted to give it back.
And fans, the North American title of the Global Wrestling Federation, I guess the new emergence, you can say, of the North American title. That original title retired, I believe, back in 1987. The Patriot continues the pressure on Al Perez that has gone on for at least 2.5, maybe 3 minutes.
We saw earlier in the show the very heartfelt interview that the Patriot had with Joe Pedicino, where he returned the belt of the North American Championship. This man is hungry for that title.
The GWF Competition Committee, make no mistakes about it, did not force this match, but they agreed with the Patriot this meeting should take place. And you're getting to see it right here on Major League Wrestling as these two men going after Perez, trying to pull over with the hip toss, but locking it in there. The power of the Patriot.
Craig, my days as a wrestling fan go all the way back to the late 1960s when I was 5 and 6 years old. Back to the days of J.C. Dykes and the Infernos, up through Bruno Sammartino, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, up through the present. And I cannot remember an instant where a champion returned a belt, returned the championship because he did not like the way he won it.
And Perez taking advantage of a situation there, taking advantage of a situation where the Patriot did indeed give back the belt. He wanted a rematch anyway, but now he's getting it with the belt in limbo, if you will. Perez loads up the right, delivers it to the side of the masked face of the Patriot. Delivers the knee. Sends the Patriot reversal by the man in the red, white, and blue who misses with the shoulder into the turnbuckle. And Perez, now with the shoulder that is used usually for that Patriot missile, may have the advantage here because the key weapon of the Patriot now may not be as strong as it usually is.
Al Perez has the Patriot very well scouted, knowing that that shoulder is used for the Patriot missile, a move that has finished off many a competitor here in the GWF.
We have not seen any effects of the knee injury during the North American tournament on Al Perez. Right now, Perez firmly in control, using the top rope to choke the Patriot.
In the tournament, Al Perez had an injured knee. Did that figure in the end of the controversial finish of that championship match in the tournament? We don't know. What we do know is that his knee is not injured now. The Patriot doesn't appear to be going for that injured knee, and it's obvious that Perez is back at 100% against a 100% Patriot. Senior official James Beard, presiding senior official James Beard here in the GWF. Our regular senior official Sean O'Brien still injured. And James Beard doing a fine job, appointed by the championship committee to officiate this championship match. The match to end it all between Al Perez and the Patriot.
And some have said that if it weren't for the fact that the senior official was not presiding, James Beard unable to preside because of a previous commitment, that this controversy would not have taken place in the first place. But now this is the way it's being settled in the ring. The Patriot trying to get a little bit of the adrenaline pumping. Al Perez still has a hold of that rear chin lock. One elbow loosens it. The second elbow breaks it. As the Patriot is met by the knee of Al Perez as he comes off the ropes.
And the Patriot has the support of all the fans here in the Global Dome. You heard the chant earlier. And the Patriot really must rely on the fans here, Craig, as this could take it out of him. Al Perez is no rookie. He knows his way around the ring. He's going to have to rely on the fans' moral support. Build off the strength of the fans and get himself back into this match.
As you are seeing, uninterrupted, these men have been wrestling for now 10 minutes. As the Patriot may not be lasting much longer if the punishment of Al Perez continues.
You can see the sweat all over the body of the Patriot and all over the body of Al Perez. Both men physically spit in this match.
The Patriot trying to come back, but Perez throws him out between the top and middle rope. The Patriot down on the floor in front of the Global Dome interview area.
Here comes Perez after him. Things could be taking an evil turn here, Craig.
Perez picks him up. Is he going to put him down on the floor? He indeed does. Perez with the advantage. As the Patriot lies on the floor.
Oh, my God! Making his way to the ring area. That's Eddie Gilbert.
Hot stuff Eddie Gilbert is here, and I do not know why. Gilbert cheering on, but I really don't know who he's cheering. You'd have to guess it might be Al Perez. Sunset flip. Perez is down for a count of 2. But that's it. Perez with a boot to the midsection. We are now into minute number 12 as Eddie Gilbert trying to settle the fans down. I don't know why, because Al Perez seems to have the advantage here and thinks he may indeed be just moments away from winning that North American title.
The Patriot better be very careful of Eddie Gilbert at ringside.
The Patriot delivers the left under, blocking the punch by Perez. Picks him up and puts him down. The Patriot misses with the elbow. May have done a little bit of damage to the back. And now Al Perez taking the advice of Eddie Gilbert for the cover.
Look at the power of the Patriot. Bench pressed pretty much Al Perez off of that pinning combination, threw him into the ropes.
The rear chin lock, putting pressure on the lower back. If he is able to sink that in a little more, he can put more pressure on the lower back of the Patriot. And maybe wear him down as Eddie Gilbert, now obviously firmly behind Al Perez as he is trying to hush the crowd down by their chants of "Go Patriot Go."
Eddie Gilbert not liking the chant of the crowd here in the Global Dome. Look at this.
The power of the Patriot as he rises to his feet. The suplex sends the man back, upsetting Hot Stuff. The Patriot tries to deliver the elbow, but misses.
And you can see the pain on the face of the Patriot. I don't know, that's so much pain as just he is beat. He is tired. They've been going for over 13 minutes, Craig.
And now, the right delivered by the Latin Heart Drop. The kick to the midsection. Perez with another kick. He may have that North American title in his eyes. He's searching, trying to find out what will take down the Patriot. We are now into minute number 15 of this match for the North American Heavyweight Championship of the Global Wrestling Federation.
TV time remaining, Craig. We've still got about over 30, probably 35 minutes left in this television program.
And the Patriot able to reverse the situation. Getting the foot up. The fans picking up the Patriots' favorite chant of USA. The Patriot, as that left, delivers it to the side of the head. There you see some of the fans here at the Global Dome cheering on the Patriot, who thinks he's got the power.
And Hot Stuff does not like it at all.
Perez down to the mat. Into the ropes. Drop kick. The Patriot may have the belt around his waist here. Count of one, count of two. Perez able to get up.
So close. The Patriot was so close from winning the North American Heavyweight Championship. Now he's got to move in for the kill on Al Perez. He's got him right where he wants him. He wants to put the finishing touches on Perez and get the belt back that he so rightly deserves.
The Patriot delivering the punishment to the head of Al Perez. Sends him into the corner. Goes up, gonna treat the fans to the other side. Gilbert doesn't want to see this happen, but Perez tries the reverse atomic drop. And it's effective as the Patriot is down, but Perez now going to apparently seek the advice of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. The Patriot has won the championship. Meanwhile, in the ring, Al Perez facing off with Eddie Gilbert.
If Gilbert had just left well enough alone and had kept his hands off Perez,
he rips the sunglasses off of Hot Stuff. These two men having words. The Latin Heart Drop grabbing the shirt of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Eddie Gilbert should have never put his hands on Al Perez, no matter what he thought he was doing. And now Eddie Gilbert and Al Perez facing off in the squared circle.
Gilbert pleading, saying, oh, Perez will have none of that.
Look at the fear on the face of Hot Stuff.
Watch out from behind! Hot Stuff with the boot!
Perez showed him mercy, Craig. Perez had him right where he wanted him. Hot Stuff was his to take, but Hot Stuff from behind with the boot. Now what's he doing?
Hot Stuff going to get a chair. Perez has been waylaid from behind. He's now helpless, but from behind, the Patriot takes the chair from Eddie Gilbert. Gilbert, now it's a little bit of payback time from Al Perez. If Gilbert had left well enough alone, Perez might be the champion. But now, Perez paying back the man who may have cost him that championship. Gilbert trying to escape from the Global Dome. In the ring, the two men who had battled for more than 18 minutes. Now, I guess they're just showing mutual respect. I can't understand. These two men have gone at it. So close to the title was Al Perez, if not for the interference of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
We still don't know, Craig. We still don't know who would win between the Patriot and Al Perez.
The fans firmly behind the Patriot. Al Perez coming up, extends his hand, says, apparently you saved me, and a bit of thanks for the Patriot. Let's take a break. We'll be back. We'll talk to the Patriot when we return.
Fans, I'm here with the brand new Global Wrestling Federation North American Champion, the Patriot. Patriot, what a beautiful victory over Al Perez.
Hey, this is what it's all about. This is why we're here tonight, to find out who the better man was and to settle this thing once and for all. Who is going to represent the GWF as the North American heavyweight champ? And Al Perez, you're a heck of a competitor, man. You're a heck of a wrestler. You got what you wanted, a rematch. And I got what I wanted, a rematch, and this belt to go around my way.
Fans, let's take one more look at the exciting finish of that match. There you saw it one more time, Patriot. What a great victory. Congratulations.
It certainly was. But I tell you what, it couldn't have been done without all these great people out here. Because when I heard USA, 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 that was like a big turbo boost to me, man. It was like a shot of adrenaline. It was like a big pump to me and a big rush. And I was able to get back up on my feet and do it 1, 2, 3 and stand on top of the world with all these great Patriots.
Fans, there he is, the Global Wrestling Federation North American Champion, the Patriot.
In the Global Dome, Bonnie Blackstone back with you once again. This is Scott. You have some comments on some of the recent developments around Skandor Akbar, Rod Price, and this John Tatum thing.
Yeah, I sure do. Now that they're back, I think the only good that he's going to be is for John Tatum in the California stud. Everybody else is a dangerous man, and I feel it's going to be bad news for him.
A lot of people are feeling those exact same vibes. As Skandor Akbar makes his presence known in the Global Wrestling Federation, this man has left a trail of broken bodies behind him, and what the future holds in the GWF, nobody is exactly sure.
Fans, I'm standing here with the Latin heartthrob Al Perez. If it weren't for hot stuff Eddie Gilbert, this man very well might be the North American champion. Let's take a look at what happened when Eddie Gilbert jumped the Latin heartthrob from behind.
Look at the fear on the face of Hot Stuff.
Watch out from behind! Hot Stuff with the boot!
Perez showed him mercy, Craig. Perez had him right where he wanted him. Hot Stuff was his to take, but Hot Stuff from behind with the boot. Now what's he doing?
Hot Stuff going to get a chair. Perez has been waylaid from behind. He's now helpless, but from behind, the Patriot takes the chair from Eddie Gilbert. Gilbert, now it's a little bit of payback time from Al Perez. If Gilbert had left well enough alone, Perez might be the champion. But now, Perez paying back the man who may have cost him that championship. Gilbert trying to escape from the Global Dome. In the ring, the two men who had battled for more than 18 minutes. Now, I guess they're just showing mutual respect. I can't understand. These two men have gone at it. So close to the title was Al Perez, if not for the interference of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
We still don't know, Craig. We still don't know who would win a match straight up between the Patriot and Al Perez.
The fans firmly behind the Patriot. Al Perez coming up, extends his hand, says, apparently you saved me, and a bit of thanks for the Patriot. All right, Al Perez, we've seen it again. If it weren't for Eddie Gilbert, you may be the one who was just presented with the belt. Instead, the Patriot able to win the belt, but it seems like Eddie Gilbert just had too much interference.
Well, you know something? I have nothing against the Patriot, because for one thing, he's got a lot of support back here. But Eddie Gilbert, me, nor anyone associated with me, told you to come down and even try to support me, because I, as a Latin heartthrob, don't need Eddie Gilbert as no support. I got plenty of backers myself. If I want someone to help me, I'll get somebody more qualified than you. Patriot, I take my hat off to you. You're tougher than what I thought. But you and I aren't through yet. Eddie Gilbert, you got a problem with me now, baby. I don't back down to no one. I don't jump on no one from behind. If you got any kind of guts or any man that you say you are, come out face to face. Meet me in a square circle in front of all these people, and let's straighten it out now, because I don't leave no one standing when I got a grudge against someone. Eddie Gilbert, you want a piece of me, you just cost me the North American title. Brother, I don't take a backseat to nobody. I won that title bad. Eddie Gilbert, I'm gonna get you, then I'll go back to the Patriot if I have to. I understand the Patriot gave me a hand. I saw Eddie Gilbert with a chair coming at me. Patriot, thanks a lot. I'll be there when you need me. I'll save whoever saves me. But brother, I still want that title you're holding.
Is the Latin heartthrob Al Perez. He has a date with Hot Stuff in the near future. He could have been the North American champion.
The California stud at Hollywood, John Tatum.
California stud Rod Price and Hollywood John Tatum under the tutelage of Skandor Akbar. What a shock it was. You see Skandor Akbar align himself with John Tatum and the California stud. There they are. Lots of difference in the body types here between Rod Price and John Tatum.
There you see the general. Formerly the general, now known as Mr. Skandor Akbar with his charges.
The American Breed, very flashy looking team.
Speedy and Lightning, the American Breed, the one in the ring right now. Apparently wasn't speedy enough. That one was Lightning. Lightning Quick claims to be the man from Hollywood, John Tatum, and oh, what a chop.
Take a look at the California stud tagging in to Hollywood John Tatum. Gonna send the American Breed across. Oh!
And there's a couple of soles to the pectoral muscles.
Oh, now look at this. That's just pure intimidation there.
Lightning sent across, and look at the power of the stud.
Whoa.
As he sends him down. Now the leg drop. Count of two. And folks, if we sound a little bit tired, we may very well be.
Because we are, yeah.
An almost 20-minute match. Uninterrupted, as we just saw the Patriot win the title, but a lot of questions unanswered between Al Perez and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. I understand Bonnie Blackstone is in the stands with some comments. Bonnie? The stud having his way with half of the American Breed in a power slam.
I understand that Skandor Akbar, in his scouting of this team, very impressed by the super kick of Hollywood John Tatum, and has instructed John Tatum to teach the super kick to Rod Price, the California stud. So we may be seeing Rod Price attempt to emulate the super kick of Hollywood John Tatum later on in this event, Craig.
While Tatum holds on, the California stud delivers a right, and now using that power, takes him up and over. Seems like Lightning's had about enough of the stud, as he's able to get some comeback, and here comes Speedy. Speedy picks up the stud and puts him down. Goes up for a high-risk maneuver. Nobody home, however.
That hurts.
That's why they call them high-risk maneuvers.
Uh-oh. Now there you see John Tatum instructing the California stud Rod Price to use the super kick to try to finish off his opponent. Watch him here. He got a lackluster super kick there. Moves in for the pin.
Caught him on the chin, but didn't really have much thrust behind it.
Well, there you go.
You notice that the toes just barely caught the chin there.
Now,
well, here comes Tatum. Tatum is going to come in, and I think he's saying this is how you do it.
Yeah, the teacher and pupil, if you will.
Oh! Now that's how you do it. No much of that. Hey.
No question about it. He knows how to do a super kick. And so now he's giving him the old, oh, please, 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 please. They'll be throwing streamers in here next we know. Now what?
They're leaving. Wait a minute. They forgot to cover the man.
I don't think Tatum did.
Tatum forgot to cover the man.
He forgot to pin the opponent.
Count of one, count of two, count of three. Well, maybe he might be losing a little bit of his memory, but they still got the win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, the California Stud and John Tatum.
230 pounds, Walker in at 240. As far as height, maybe a slight advantage to Landell on that count. They get right into it. Collar and elbow tie-up. Remember earlier, Landell said this would be a cakewalk. That chop just may have tried to cut the cake, but I think the cake woke up. Walker not enjoying what was supposed to be a clean break as he stares down Landell. The nature boy of the 90s from Jacksonville, Florida, goes into the reverse hammerlock. And the reversal by Walker. Nice drop takedown by Landell, but reversed once again by Walker. And Landell takes the easy way out. He grabs the ropes. Walker and Landell have had their history before. It was Landell who, back when the television championship tournament took place, knocked Walker out of the tournament. Landell wasn't even wrestling at the time. He pushed Walker off the top rope. Landell thought that was an easy ticket to the championship, found out that was wrong. Easy ticket to that takedown was a pull of the long locks of Conan Chris Walker. And of course, James Beard asking Buddy Landell, did you do it? The nature boy, who you could tell by his commentary a little bit earlier, doesn't always tell the truth. Into the corner they go. Beard wanting a clean break, instead a series of rights by Landell, answered by Walker. 3 times by Conan Chris until a knee lift stops the barrage. Landell turns it over, puts the boot into the sternum, and now goes to work on the left arm, the powerfully built arm of Conan Chris Walker. Landell moves back into the corner. Walker says, well, if you're going to go back into the corner, it's time to take advantage of the situation. 3 times. Says that's not enough. 4, 5, 6. We can keep counting. Walker with a barrage. Tries to hip toss him instead. Sends him on the express route. Now gets the hip toss. Landell looking for higher ground, instead takes a seat and gets a kick into the midsection. There's a shortcut we didn't even know was on the map. Scratch of the back by the nature boy of the 90s, and the short clothesline. Well done. Cover of 1, 2. You're not going to cover Conan like that. The kick to the side of the head. And now Landell goes back to work on the left arm. Walker, who, as you can see, spends a lot of time in the gym, both in the weight room and in the wrestling room. Landell, who spends a lot of time socializing. That's the only way I can put it, and stay on the air. Landell escorts Walker back into the corner, the big chop. Right onto the pectoral muscles. 3 times Walker says, hold it, I can do this too. Rapid fire with the chops, with a right hand, all over the Nature Boy of the 90s, until he says, no more. Landell with a handful of hair once again. The Nature Boy twisting the wrist, and Walker is feeling the punishment. Putting pressure both on the wrist and the shoulder, and just to make sure that Walker is a little bit tired, I'll boot to the sternum again. Landell measured that one. Tape measure shot once again. Beard warning him about it. Walker lands one of his own. This one comes out of right field. That one goes into the power alley. Forearm chops. Pulls him out with a hip toss. Walker going to town. Walker throws him into the corner, follows it up. Has him set up for a monkey flip and gets it right in the middle of the ring. Conan Chris Walker. Once again up to the ropes. This time tripped up the feeder on the top rope with the count of 3. The Nature Boy steals one away.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the match, Nature Boy, Buddy Landell.
Good-looking youngster from Southern California. A man with one name. Does he have a last name? Have we touched on that at all? Or?
Actually, I've never asked the man. The ladies don't mind after that. Watch out from behind. El Diablo with, quite frankly, a much smaller opponent than the match you saw him in just a few minutes ago, which actually was taped a couple of weeks ago.
A lot of difference between the Canadian Giant and Chaz. I don't know that they may not be equally as tough in their own way.
One thing that we've admired about Chaz since day number 1 here in North America in the Global Wrestling Federation is the fact that Chaz will take on any competitor, whether it's the light heavyweight, the heavyweight, or sometimes the super heavyweight. You remember his first match against one Axel Rotten.
Oh, absolutely.
Diablo with the upper hand here.
El Diablo, you wonder how he would prepare for a match against the Canadian Giant. And then it's only been a couple of weeks that now he's wrestling Chaz after a 1 count. Has to change his training regimen, I would think, to go from a big 7-foot-plus Canadian strongman down to the light heavyweight like Chaz.
And I know Chaz, one of the contenders for the light heavyweight championship, currently held by the Lightning Kid.
That's very appropriate. The light heavyweight champion is the Lightning Kid.
You love those puns, don't you?
Oh, hush, Craig.
Oh, please, Scott. As El Diablo trying to take advantage of his smaller competitor in Chaz.
I've got to admit to an affinity for the light heavyweight division, Craig. The matches are always high-flying activities with lots and lots of action. I've always enjoyed those type matches, and Chaz certainly is adept at the light heavyweight style, as is the Lightning Kid. That match in itself could be one to watch.
Fans, this is the second of 2 standby matches that we had ready to go in case the matchup between the Patriot and Al Perez did not go the full television time. So Chaz, when you sign for a standby match, you just usually sign an open contract, and I have no idea if Chaz knew he was going to go against El Diablo, the big man from, I don't know if he's south of the border in Mexico or south of the border in South Carolina. Look at Chaz, duck under, picks up the man. Where's he gonna go? He's gonna go to the outside of the ring, springs up, off the top rope, comes down, caught the headlock, tried to take him down in a bulldog, but apparently it knocked El Diablo, El Loco. Fans, I understand that we will have an opportunity to talk to Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert when we come back. Fans, we're standing here with a man who cost Al Perez.
No. I didn't cost Al Perez anything. And first off, all you are, Craig Johnson, is a Richard Grieco look-alike trying to get a roll in the mobsters. And all you are is a cowboy Bill Watts wannabe, boy. Al Perez and Deli, you don't know who you're talking about. I am the maker of champions. You go back, you look in my past, you look at Sting, you look at the Steiners, you look at every champion throughout this country. They came from me. You're nothing. You're a has-been. The only reason you wrestled the Patriot Boy was because I wasn't here. You're nothing. You're a coward. You're a chicken. And if you were a man, you would be...
Al Perez is right there. I think he wants to talk to you.
Call I have to make.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
And Eddie Gilbert.
Eddie's...
Al Perez, come on in.
There you go. You know, I said when I came out here earlier, Eddie Gilbert, meet me face to face. If you got something to say, you got something against me, here I am. Meet me face to face. You cost me the North American title, brother. I'm not letting that slide out of nowhere. You're going out the back door now, baby, because one day, real soon, the Latin Heartthrob is going to catch you, Eddie Gilbert, and finish it.
Fans, we got to go for Joe Pedicino and Bobby Blackstone, along with